Natalie with Studensville, and we're going to do our second Italian summer cooking class with Kelly. And also a few of my friends will be joining in tonight, and we're going to make ravioli from scratch. Yes, and we'll be using our hands and some wine bottles to roll it out. It should be fun. I'm really excited.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you. So today we're making ravioli, and to start, it's a basic pasta dough. I make it with all-purpose flour. You could also make it with semolina, but you have to remember that gluten in the pasta is what forms its elasticity. So if you do all-purpose flour, look for, it's called in Italian doppio zero, but it's 00 flour. It's a very softly milled flour, and it's really easy to roll out. If you use semolina, it'll take you a little bit longer to roll, but it's still just as good. So right now I've made a well with my pasta dough, and I'm pouring eggs into it right now. Oh, my well broke. It's alright. Pasta's all about interpretation. So right now I'm trying to incorporate it and make a dough. Oh my god, it's not going. The best part about the kitchen is it all tastes the same once it's in the pot. So as you can see, I'm just trying to gently incorporate it all together. I promise you, when your well stays put, it looks a lot nicer. Okay, so as you can see, I worked the dough for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's really doughy. Thank goodness, you know, after a little mishap. But it just proved to show you that you just need to do a little work with it. You can recover from any mistake in the kitchen, and it all turns out perfectly fine. So I'm gonna let this rest for about 15 minutes to develop its gluten, and then we're gonna cut it and we're gonna roll it with some wine bottles, because I don't know about you guys, but I almost never have a rolling pin, but I always have a wine bottle. Okay, so as you can see, I've enlisted Kelsey and Natalie to help me roll pasta, and usually people use rolling pins, but I say, why not get creative? So basically take any bottle. I mean, we have a balsamic vinegar bottle that also works, but wine bottles are generally pretty good. So you're gonna start by rolling out the pasta. Are we doing it right? Oh, Natalie's a pro already. And then if it starts to get sticky, just use a little flour. It's okay if it's sticky, don't worry about it. And then once you have it flattened in one direction, you're gonna turn it 90 degrees and continue to roll. And eventually you want it to be rolled so that it's one continuous sheet, and not thin enough to see through it because then it'll tear, but thin enough where you can kind of see the shadow of your hand behind it. Okay, so now I'm making the prosciutto and parmesan filling. And basically the component of almost every ravioli filling is ricotta. And you add in whatever ingredients you want to ricotta, crack an egg, add some cheese, salt and pepper, and mix it. I'm gonna toss in a handful of parmesan, and then you just start to incorporate it. Okay, so there are two separate ways of making ravioli. There is the fold over method, and then we call this the half moon method. It's all made up. I promise you there's a real name for it, but we don't call it that. So what Kelsey's doing right now is cutting out shapes, kind of like when you make pie dough. And then what she's gonna do when she's done with that is flip it over, put some filling in the center, fold it over, and then crimp. So then you're gonna wet over the edges to form a seal. And that way the pasta sticks to itself. And then you're gonna fold over.
Chef master.
Yeah, you can stretch it a little bit. Yeah, stretch it a little bit. It's really similar to how you make Chinese wontons or dumplings.
Because I do that all the time.
There you go. See, she's got a practiced hand, and then you can crimp the edges with a fork.
Oh, nice. That's easy enough. They look like little pies. Oh, they're cute. Good job,
Kelsey's first ravioli. So this is the second method we were talking about, the, I guess, fold over instead of the half moon method. As I said before, I promise that they have real names. I just don't call them by that. This is the method that, if you happen to have a pasta machine, is really easy to make. But it's also really good if you have to make a ton for a crowd. Kelsey's is more for a little romantic dinner or some place where you're not feeding that many people. So Natalie's gonna press down and kind of smooth out the air bubbles in between, and you can start to see that ravioli is taking shape. And then all she's gonna do is cut in between, and she has made ravioli. So Natalie is cutting off the excess of her ravioli. And then once we have a couple filled, we're gonna head over to the stove and boil them. All right, now that we have all of our raviolis done, I'm gonna drop them into a pot of boiling water. I'm gonna be really careful not to crowd the pot, and raviolis float to the surface when they're done cooking. Fresh pasta cooks much quicker than dried pasta. Cheers, ravioli. How is it?